The NBA is less than 2 weeks away from coming back with their new season. They were able to finish the previous one thanks to the bubble playoffs, and now they're attempting to do as full a season as possible under controlled conditions. There are going to be a lot of unwritten rules that go into keeping people safe there, which is totally understandable. But believe it or not, there are a lot of regular unwritten rules in the NBA as well that players and coaches follow. So allow us to show you 10 unwritten rules in the NBA. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 10. Know the limits when arguing with the coach. Coaches are meant to be one of the two true leaders of the team. Sure, your all-star is the leader on the court, but when it comes to practice, setting up the game plan, and so on, you have to trust your coach. Now, there are some LeBron that think they're better and more important than the coach, but for 99% of the NBA, that doesn't apply. The real unwritten rule about the coach is simple. You can argue with them, you can disagree with them, you can shout at them if you're angry, but you don't cross the line and get physical with the coach. Or when you're yelling at them, you don't cross the line with your words. Players have done both in the past and they've paid the price. Plus, doing it ruins your relationship with the team because if you can do that to the coach, you can do it to them. Number 9. Players' contract. The NBA contract is a powerful thing no matter who you are in the league. That contract determines their worth in terms of monetary value, and the teams in the NBA love to get technical with what contracts to help give the players what they want, but also incentivize them to stay if they're really good, or allow the team to get rid of them if they don't live up to the potential they have. But have you ever noticed that players honestly don't talk about each other's contracts that often? This is honestly intentional, because an unwritten rule of the game is that you don't talk about other people's contracts, mainly because it's deemed as rude, improper, and honestly rather pointless. It would be wrong for certain players to complain about another person's deal because they may play different positions, have different roles on a team, or aren't as good as other players. Not to mention, unlike earlier days in the NBA, it's easy to get more value and be viewed as valuable by another team and then go to them and get more money. It's very much a rule of shut up and prove your own worth rather than complaining about each other's deals. Number 8. Block party. One of the staples of the NBA is going and blocking another person's shot whenever you get the chance. After all, you don't want your opponents to score because you yourself are trying to win. However, when a foul or timeout is called, sometimes people will go and just pop a shot just to see if it'll go in. And by an unwritten rule, if that happens, a defender is almost expected, if in position and can reach, to block that shot and stop it from going into the rim. Why is this an unwritten rule? No clue, but it happens a lot. In fact, Kevin Garnett was legendary for this move. It didn't matter what team, if the whistle blew when someone popped a shot, he would always block it. ESPN even did a special segment on it because he was so consistent in doing it.
We are seeing fantastic and multiple defensive efforts.
Number 7. Shoes. In the NBA, shoes are one of the best ways to prove that you have major value to the league and sponsors. Because if you have your own shoe, or shoe line, you've made your mark on the league in some fashion. Jordan, LeBron, Curry, and many more have had their own shoe lines. Air Jordan is still going on despite Jordan not playing since the early 2000s. But here's the rub. You notice that certain players wear other players' shoes, but only during certain games? Per NBC Sports Washington's Chase Hughes, one of the biggest unwritten rules in basketball is not wearing the signature shoe of an opponent. If you're playing against someone who has their own signature shoes, you can't wear them, Washington Wizards guard Bradley Beal told Hughes. If you're confused about this rule, it's because of the show of support it would bring the other side by showing the other team that one player really likes their star. You want your team to know you're 100% committed to them and them alone. So wearing a rival's shoe as you're playing against them is a party foul. Number 6. Hygiene. Let's now talk about an unwritten rule that we should all partake in, but sometimes don't. Hygiene. You'd think that in major sports leagues like the NBA that everyone would do their best to have proper hygiene on and off the court. But Wizards forward Markieff Morris noted that this isn't always the case. Not wanting to shower, that happens a lot. I had an incident when I was in Phoenix with a rookie who said, "I don't use deodorant." I was like, whoa, what the? You mean you don't use deodorant? You gotta respect other players. Hygiene is one of the most important things in our profession. It's uncomfortable guarding somebody that stinks. That's why I had to explain to him, like, bro, you smell, so it's uncomfortable for us to be around you smelling like that. Now, some might think this is a good battle tactic to throw your opponent off guard, but that's the thing. It throws off your teammates too, so it's a double-edged sword. So it's best to just be clean, don't smell, and let the game be played naturally. Number 5. College loyalty. This one is a bit more low-key and usually doesn't affect people too much out loud. Because while most NBA players are about team loyalty, aka being loyal to the group that takes the floor with them, there's another loyalty, a deeper one that predates the NBA, college loyalty. Because while many players come to the NBA after a one-and-done year, many spend more there and grow to truly love their college. So when they meet other players from their alma mater, they go and try to help them, root for them, and even guide them. Because they have an alma mater to support by showing that winners and great players come from those schools. They don't spill team secrets or anything, but they do try and help make sure that their fellow alumni do well in the league, and that's to be appreciated. Number 4. Don't rig your stats. A great way to prove your worth as a player is to go and get things like double-doubles and triple-doubles. They prove you're doing a lot of things right on the court, and as such, are a better player. However, sometimes players get so desperate to do that, they'll go and rig situations so that they can do things like get extra rebounds, steals, and even points. Ricky Davis memorably missed a shot on purpose in a 2010 game so that he could get the final rebound needed for his own triple-double, and that was considered a foul against the unwritten rules, as this wasn't done naturally.
Deshaun. I missed the play. Was that a rebound for Ricky? I was looking. He tried to give himself a rebound.
He needed a rebound for a triple-double.
Number 3. Rookie rules. Here's another obvious one that goes deeper than you might expect. Rookies essentially act as servants to veterans, including bringing them towels after practices and bringing food for the trip during road games. First-year players also have to wait for veterans to use the showers first. You never want to get into the showers first. That's a rookie rule. You gotta be putting up extra shots, Wizard forward Jason Smith said. You don't want to be one of the first ones out of the gym because then everyone thinks, oh, he has it easy. And then you're a target after that. This particular set of unwritten rules is prevalent throughout all major team sports, whether the rookies like it or not. Number 2. Leg shots are off limits. Injuries happen in sports, that's another unwritten rule. And in the NBA, hard fouls are going to happen, that's another rule. But if you look at how the foul happens, you'll notice something. An unwritten rule that you must follow is that you don't go after the legs. Why? Because think about it. While your shooting hand can heal and you'll be back at it, if you hurt your legs or feet, that can be detrimental to your career, or end it. If you need to foul someone, there are easy ways to do it, but going after the legs or feet is a no-go from the start. Number 1. 100%. This rule shouldn't even be said, but it's there nonetheless. If you make it into the NBA, you are lucky. Not a lot of people make it, despite certain appearances. As a result, if you are on the court, no matter your role, you are expected to give 100% every single game. If you don't, people are going to notice. Or if you're only focused on yourself, people are going to notice. Teams have been broken up and players have been ostracized because of not giving 100% or being a selfish player. And you don't want those labels if you want to last in the NBA. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the various unwritten rules that the NBA has had instituted by players and coaches over the years? Which of these rules do you think are fair unwritten rules? Which ones do you think are a bit over the top? Do you think that there will be other unwritten rules in the future? Let us know in the comments below, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.